Welcome to the Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside
the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose.
This was every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services and 9 a.m. on YouTube. Now, it's pretty exciting. It took me a long time. So sorry for anyone that I bombarded your subscription feed with the last 2 weeks. What are you going to do?
Better late than never.
If you want to join the wrestling conversation, head over to the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/popculturist or the Discord channel. Links are in the description below. If you also want to talk to us and you don't have social media, head to popculturist.com/questions. You can submit a bunch of shit and get involved, just like one of our viewers have this week. We'll get to that a little bit later. If you want to show the love of Pop Culturist on your body, head to popculturist.com/shop where you can buy shirts, other assorted shit with the logos on it. And we ask for twitch.tv/The Pop Culturist, where this coming Wednesday, we'll be doing an extra long Wrestlemania 35 predictions using the power of WWE 2K19. That bitch be long. It's going to be a long show. All that hasn't been officially done yet, apparently 17 matches on the card.
Oh, wow. Just breaking the place.
Just breaking things. 17 matches, Jem.
That's going to be a long WrestleMania. I can't believe we're so close.
It's 8 hours, estimated, excluding pre-show. It's 2 hours.
Wow. And it's like 2 weeks away.
Not even, 12 days away.
12 days away. Holy hell. I am so excited.
Actually, no. It's 8 days away.
Oh, crap.
No, 9 days away. 10 days away.
Oh, my gosh. I forgot what day it is. Oh, my... Wow.
Yeah, it's Friday. We're recording late this week, reasons.
Crazy.
But yeah, no, it's literally just over a week away.
Wild.
Pretty exciting. I'm super keen. As we said last week, people have got the Village Cinemas. They're doing it there.
That was initially my plan, but my rosters have changed, so I have to work.
Yeah.
So I'll have to.
Well, I took the day off because I'm smart, and so when I entered a competition to win tickets to the Village. So if I win, I get to watch WrestleMania, and if I lose.
You get to watch WrestleMania.
So that is a complete no loss contest.
Win-win situation.
Yeah. If I don't win, it's a shame. Still going to watch it at home and have a great time. And they said this time I just don't watch it at the cinemas. But before every WrestleMania, we do have to get into the Raw and the SmackDowns of the week. As we always do, let's kick things off with Raw. It was in Boston, Massachusetts. It did kick off with the information and the confirmation that the main event for WrestleMania 35 will be, for the first time ever, a women's triple threat match. This is the first time women have ever headlined WrestleMania.
That is huge.
Mad.
Huge. It's the 35th WrestleMania and the first with a female headline. That is phenomenal.
It's very funny. So we at my day job, sometimes we are lucky enough to watch wrestling during the day. Some of our clients like it. And I was talking with Heidi, who's our new employee. I'm talking about how these leaps and strides of wrestling, especially around women and all these sort of things. And she goes, "That's really cool. How long have you been doing that for?" I'm like, "About 6 months." She's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "Yeah, wrestling's been going on forever, but they've only really started doing it the last 6 months." She's like, "It's kind of embarrassing." I'm like, "Yeah, it is a little bit."
Yeah, just a little bit. But it's, again, I say this so often, but it's better late than never. Yeah. It could have not happened at all. So this is huge.
That's totally true. And it makes total sense because, looking at at least the last 8 months, right? The women have been the dominant force. It would seem so arbitrary to have, Daniel Bryan and Kofi, as an example, be the main line. Granted, it's still impressive, but it's not there.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, if you had that as the final match, poo.
Yeah.
Granted, the build-up's there, but saying that this has been having Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. This has been a storyline months in the making. This has been build up 8 months in the making. It has been a brilliant setup to this, and it's incredibly awesome and powerful to see this.
And as a woman who watches wrestling, it's incredibly empowering. It makes us as women and them as entertainers and athletes just that much more recognized for what they do and how hard they push and how they really are just on par with the other superstars.
So fix my chair. But yeah.
So yeah, it's really freaking exciting and I can't wait. I reckon it's going to be like the highlight match of the night.
I think it will be. My only concern is, as we mentioned like a minute ago, 8 hour long, like everyone's going to be snoozing by the end. Like everyone's going to have, there's going to be, hopefully there's some good mid-Mania matches that are kind of all right. They're going to have a nap. Go for a pee break.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a long ass time.
It's going to be a long ass show.
But next we had Ronda Rousey. She comes into her usual booze and her usual Becky chants. She goes on, has a big discussion about how, you know, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's responsible for bringing in the main event.
The only thing I could think when she was speaking is, I just want to say you're welcome. I was like, thanks.
Which is an interesting line. Like, so she's essentially saying that she is the reason for this main event match, which
in a sense
she kind of is. Like comparatively, we'll get to the others in just a moment, but you know, she debuted WrestleMania last year, so she's done a lot in 12 months. She come from a debut to main eventing.
Yeah,
Mia
in 12 months.
She hasn't lost. She's undefeated for 12 months. She's been Raw Women's Champion for pretty much all of that. Also that shows the strength of Ronda Rousey as a competitor. That shows her ability and her, you know, if you want to look at it more business-like, like that is her power to the people.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So I believe having her on the roster, having her be a center focus, has certainly helped make this possible.
For sure.
So I'll give her that.
She's not wrong. It's not all her, but she's not wrong.
No, she's certainly a key part of it. Is she the sole reason? No.
Yeah.
Key part, certainly.
Definitely.
Let's see.
Then she drops the mic and then picks it back up and then drops it again and then picks it back up.
Yeah, she's like, you can only drop the mic once, mate. And it's just...
That's all I have to say. Actually, I have to say something else. And that's all I have to say. Actually.
But what I did like is she then says she claims to be able to tap out both Becky and Flair at the same time.
Yeah, that intrigued me.
Now, having her signature move be the armbar, unless like Becky and Charlotte are smushed together and then she armbars both arms at once, I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, they'd probably have to be like laying side by side with her kind of in between there.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah, or like, you know, like, say Charlotte, Becky on top.
Oh, yeah, stacks on,
double armbar. That's the only way it's going to go down.
Ronda's too small for that.
Yeah. Ronda is strong. She's many things, and she's strong. But trying to get them two of them down, like it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I don't see. And then she went on about the BS gimmicks, all that sort of stuff, and glazed over that because I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yes.
And then this is where they announced the Beat the Clock Challenge. So for those that don't know, because I didn't know about it till this match, so the Beat the Clock Challenge is you have a series of performers, and it's all about whoever can win the fastest. So in this case, I
haven't seen one of those in a while.
Oh yeah, I've not seen them as long as I've been watching. So it was Ronda Rousey, Becky, and Charlotte. Now these guys weren't in a team; they were just competing
individual competitors.
Against the Riott Squad. So Ronda was paired with Sarah Logan, Becky was paired with Liv, and Charlotte was paired with Ruby Riott. The order of appearance was Ronda, Charlotte, and then finishing off with Becky. So Ronda Rousey came in and sort of got it all out of the way. She set a
Bear in mind,
yes,
Becky did come out first and she had something to say.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes here.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got a promo from Becky talking about...
I love, she's like, Ronnie, stop being a little weirdo. I love it when she says weirdo.
She talked about the idea that, you know, Ronda came in with a big money contract and years of all this bullshit, but no one gave a crap about Ronda Rousey
until the man came along.
Which is kind of true. Like, Becky has had an exceptional year, and that is all off her own back. There was no pre-WWE thing. Like, you know, Ronda Rousey being a very dominant force in UFC was able to bring a lot of that fame and recognition to WWE. So that already had a bump for her, right? That was a negotiating. Yeah,
that was her bargaining chip.
Bargaining, thank you. Her bargaining chip in negotiations for entering WWE. Where Becky, for those that know, when she started in NXT, she was like the, you know, last kicker or whatever. She came out river dancing down the aisle and stuff. Horrible beginning.
Yeah.
So to see her come from that to move her way to now being the man, being a dominant force, and whoever she is with instantly gets bumped up because of it. Like
definitely.
she has an aura around her, and the amount of love, respect, and hype that it's around Becky. Just by being near her, you're by proxy involved in that hype.
Exactly,
so, for that reason, I do think, although Ronda helped, Becky did escalate that further.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And then finally, we did have Charlotte enter. Let's see. My handwriting is appalling. Okay, so essentially along the lines that, she's been working for this main event for the last 7 years that she's been at the WWE. Valid. Totally valid. Yeah. She has worked her ass off to get here, saying that she is from wrestling royalty as the daughter of Ric Flair. Woo. So that was an easy way in. Yeah. She even still uses her dad's gimmick. Yep. Which is weird.
Same little coat, same little
Same
woo.
Coat, same woo. So, she's straight up coming from that. Saying that, brilliant athlete. Unquestionably, it's that weird situation of, she's coming in off of the back of someone,
but she's building her own empire.
She's defending. She's beating. Yeah. She's proving that she should be there.
Yeah,
unlike
definitely.
Nia Jax right now, who is in from her relation, but not proving her worth.
Nia Jax.
You know what I mean? So Charlotte's still coming. She's still strong. She's still hot as hell.
Yeah, proving that she's still,
but in terms of the situation, she was shoehorned into this match, and
she was the chosen one.
She was handpicked by Vince McMahon and shoved into this match. Would her being in this match alter it being the main event, or would it alter it anyway? No,
probably not.
No. The this as a match was still going to happen regardless of Charlotte Flair's involvement.
Definitely.
So is she responsible for this main event? No. Out of the three of them, no. Not at all. So kicking things off, as I did start saying a minute ago, Ronda was the first to set the clock for this, what's it called? Beat the Clock Challenge.
Yes.
She took on Sarah Logan and got her done in an armbar in a minute 25.
Yeah, minute 25. One thing I did watch the match quite thoroughly just because this would be interesting. That weird, held up armbar knee thing that Sarah Logan does, not a fan.
No.
I did quite like
Ronda sort of pulling Sarah over the ropes, though, trying to get an armbar over the ropes.
That was so good.
Nice touch.
That was really good. But yeah, that weird, I don't know. She needs to stop doing that. That's not a cool move.
It's one of those things, right? So when we've said this before, but I'm going to have to say it again. Watching Ronda grow over the last 12 months, it shows her skill.
Yeah.
And if anything,
she's studying, she's learning, she's doing things.
If anything, it's adding to her theory or her belief that she's responsible for this man.
Definitely.
Which she kind of is. She came from a different sport where it's all about just mushing someone's face until they're out. And in terms of sports entertainment, it's a little bit different.
She went from fighting to being an athlete.
Yeah, so rather than just pummeling your opponent into bleeding,
you have to be tactical.
You've got to be tactical. You got to be smarter. You got to be willing to tackle and grapple, and not just punch them in the face.
Exactly,
so to see her grow to that, and she's been recently tackling aerial moves as well as using the things like the rope and getting involved.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, utilizing her environment
for what everyone has been saying. Exceptional growth.
Yeah.
She has genuinely
and in
shown,
such a short time too.
Yeah, she's genuinely shown a respect, at least initially. Now she's talking shit about it, but to the sport and be willing to learn and adapt for
Definitely.
Next up, it was Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. However, Charlotte did lose to the clock.
Yes, it did count out entirely.
So Charlotte was unable to get Ruby Riott either submitted or tapped. Submitted or pinned within the minute 25. Yep. Therefore, she loses.
Yeah. So Becky slides into the ring, and Charlotte, obviously pissed that she's lost, gives Becky a big boot.
Yeah.
Because I'm a sore loser.
That's what the bad guys do.
Which obviously puts Becky at a disadvantage for the start of her little competition against Liv Morgan. But I was like, it's Liv Morgan. Becky's just going to
smush. And then with 7 seconds left on the clock.
9.
No, it was 9 seconds when she got pinned. And then 2 seconds to hit. It's always until the bell.
Duh, my bad.
So in minute 18, so in a minute 18, Becky had the was it a disarmer? I think it was a disarmer.
Yeah.
Anyway, she smushed Liv with almost no question.
No, she pinned her.
Did she? Oh, yes, it was a pin. Yes.
It was like a counter pin thing,
That was. Yeah, I think it was a bit more of a slight roll-up.
Yeah.
What do you think of these three matches?
I thought it was interesting to see them try and compete so quickly. Obviously, we have seen in the past, like, the Riott Squad are notorious for getting beaten in seconds. So it was interesting to see if they could last more than 15 of them, which they did. Yeah. Impressive. But, yeah, I thought it was a fun little way to sort of keep that build up to this match coming and, you know, testing like Becky and Charlotte and Ronda and seeing where they're all at athletically and stuff like that coming into WrestleMania. I thought that was a fun little way to start the show, to get everybody hyped and to just get the feuds boiling a bit.
Yeah,
more.
like I completely agree. In terms of optics, it's a great way to showcase each of the three main eventers, and show their strength, show their movesets and what they can do without them having to fight each other. Exactly. So because it's one of the biggest problems, which we'll get to in just a moment, is a lot of these matches. As we move into WrestleMania, we've seen them before.
Yes.
So it's not really new. So by having them separated by almost whether they're meaning to or not, it's almost like they've put a no touch agreement. Yeah. So you can't fight the other, like either of you three can't fight, whether it be in the ring, out the ring, nowhere. You cannot touch each other. I presumably under the you're out if you do.
Yeah,
like you get eliminated from the match sort of stuff.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So under that proviso, the only way to get them to wrestle, to get them to show it, to show off what they can do moving into Mania is this way. It's the only way
to get them to compete against each other, but not physically.
Exactly. Spot on. Spot on. That's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't use the words. But yeah, so by having them compete each other without actually punching each other is the best way to go about
definitely.
it. Downside though, the second I saw they were compared with the Riott Squad, I'm like, meh. They're gonna get mushed.
Samesies.
Like, no. The problem is the Riott Squad are great. They haven't really been they've not been booked well recently. Yeah,
not at all.
And it's one of those things like we saw Ronda eliminate all three of them in space of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we know that comparatively to the skill set and the strength of these three women, the Riott Squad had nothing. It's almost like you could have put anyone in there. Yeah. And it's a real shame the Riott Squad were put out as fodder. It's almost like they were the goats in Jurassic Park. Yeah. When they put the goat out and the T-Rex launches it. Yeah. That's what it was. It was just let's just feed the predators and we'll go from there.
That's exactly it.
That's a real damn shame.
It is.
Moving on, speaking of matches we've seen 1,000 times, it was a 1-on-2 handicap with Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, under the stipulation that if Finn was to win, he would get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley. So if he wins this match against Bobby Lashley, he gets a shot at a match against Bobby Lashley. This is bullcrap. Dude, Finn Balor is way better than this shit. And it's a real damn shame for him to be just wasted in this continuous loop of Bobby Lashley.
I know.
Like, Bobby Lashley, don't get me wrong, dominating force, big dude, big Billy dude. And yeah, he kind of deserves his IC champ, big, strong competitor. He's great. Mm-hmm. But what the fuck, man? This is boring.
Yeah. I totally turned out of it when he and Lio Rush came out and Rush started yapping his lips.
So that's the first thing. So Lio does come out and sort of mention that after getting his ass whooped by Braun Strowman, he's currently not medically cleared to wrestle.
I may have laughed at him.
I did.
And
they said, so in that case, Bobby will be teaming up with Jinder Mahal. And I'm like, Finn's going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, immediately. And of course it was Jinder going down. But look, this is another one of those like interruptions piss you off thing, because in the Lashley Mahal corner, they had
the Singh brothers
and Lio Rush all causing interruptions straight away. And I was just like, oh, here we friggin' go. Yeah, not about it. This is the
thing, like Jinder Mahal, granted, previous WWE heavyweight champion, he's done nothing about it. Like he has diminished.
He's a professional loser.
Yeah. Whether it be in his wrestling ability, whether it be in his just potential or his sellability, it's not a word I'm looking for, but as in like
his not working anymore.
Marketability. Yeah, like no one gives a fuck about Jinder Mahal.
Nope.
So once again, having seen him be beaten by the shittiest of people, I'm like, no, Finn Balor's got this.
Yeah, exactly it. I was the same.
And once again, it's that weird line of, okay, cool, technically he didn't beat Bobby, he beat Jinder, so for that reason, come Mania, we're going to see them win.
Yeah.
And this is the problem for me right here. It spits in the face of my predictions.
Yes.
Like, my original prediction was the Beast versus the Phenom in a casket match. I think I've added too many specifics to make that one real.
Yeah.
But Phenom versus the Demon King. That's what I wanted. Finn Balor be Undertaker. But having Finn Balor locked in this piss shitty match for the IC belt, boring. What an absolute waste. So if for any reason he's gonna bring out the Demon to take on fucking Bobby Lashley. What an absolute waste. I thought it was a waste when they brought the Demon out at SummerSlam to take on Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Like, this is not like... So Finn uses the Demon King to get him that edge, to get him that advantage. He channels his inner demons to bring out the external demon to get the win when he needs it. Which is baffling to me that he didn't bring that out at Rumble, take on Brock Lesnar, yet potentially he may bring it out for Bobby Lashley. I think Finn Balor's got a problem there because he is drastically better than Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
He does not need the demon to give him that edge. Like, if I could, I would stand in front of Finn Balor right now, man, and be like, you do not need this shit. Go in there and just stomp him like you have been. Easy as that.
Just coup de grace.
Yeah. Coup de grace. Wins every time.
Exactly.
But, like, it's that thing. I was like, if it does happen to be the demon, I'll be really happy because I love that entrance and I love the demon.
But you'd be a little bit disappointed.
We're so fucking bummed.
It'd be exciting,
so
but
bummed.
yeah, that bittersweetness.
I just ranted about
That's
4
fine.
minutes. What's your thoughts?
Well, I just loved watching Bobby Lashley just completely decimate Mahal and the Singh brothers.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so in true bad dude fashion, he then turns around and jumps on Jinder Mahal and punches all in the Singhs.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that Mania match. I'm kind of off it. I'm just like, I've seen this.
And that's that weird line. I fucking love Finn Balor. I've got a figure there, got a figure there. I've got 2 shirts of his. Yeah. Like, I'm a big Finn Balor fan. Hey. I love what I think he's great.
Can we just do Finn and Becky? Like, Finn versus Becky. Like, let's do that.
That'd be cool.
Awesome.
It'd be a warm-up match for the end of the night.
Yeah, that'd be badass. Let's just,
It's a waste of potential right there.
Exactly it.
Yes, then we cut to Elias in Times Square talking about...
I love how Renee was like, wait, can I do it? Ladies and gentlemen, Elias.
So he's in Times Square talking about, how... whatever. Usual bullshit about being the...
I've sold out Madison Square Garden 3 times. I'm a huge superstar and people pay lots of money to come see me.
And then he has this busker that looks like Josh.
Yeah,
come out and play guitar just like Josh can. I'm like, fuck, he's got Josh. I'm like... and then...
American Josh.
And he goes, yeah. That'd be Josh Sanders. So Josh Saunders is Australian. Josh Sanders is American.
There you go.
That's not true. Next, we cut to Aleister Black and Ricochet versus The Revival for some reason.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen this 1,000 times. This makes me wonder, before we get into the outcome of this match. These guys punch each other before the bell kicks off. So currently... I've not seen the latest episode of NXT. So as for me personally right now, I know that Aleister Black and Ricochet are taking on the Forgotten Sons to have the shot at taking at the shot for they're in the final for the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic, which gives them the chance to take on the War Raiders at NXT Takeover Brooklyn for the NXT Champion Tag Team belts. So as of right now, I don't know what the outcome of that is. So it's that weird line because right now I'm thinking about it like they haven't announced the match for Mania yet, which makes me think that it's at this stage anyway that they may have won. And then maybe they're moving through to NXT Takeover, hence why they're not on the Mania card.
Possibly.
But we also haven't heard anything about the tag team belts at Mania.
No.
Nothing. That's it. We still have one more Raw, one more SmackDown to go. But like, what are they going to do? Like, what are the Revival going to do?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so the Revival lose. Ricochet, 6:30 to P.
Yeah, so they get ambushed by Black and Ricochet first, because obviously a few weeks ago they did Black and Ricochet got attacked by them on the ramp. So that was pretty fun to watch. And then, Ricochet and Aleister Black have some really good counters against them. Like, those two as a tag team are phenomenal. But same old. Revival wins, but then, one of them...
No, Ricochet.
Revival lose is the word I was looking for. And then, they go up to the announcer and they're like, the announcer's like, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions. I was like, way to be bad losers.
And for me, I'm looking at that going, because that's setting up a match I've never seen it before. But then, once again, don't know the outcome of NXT.
Yeah.
You talk. I'm going to check the outcome.
Yeah.
I'm still going to watch it, but I'm still going to check the outcome.
The announcers kept like hinting at like, oh, this could put them on the road to championships and this, that, and the other. So like, I am questioning whether they may get that title opportunity. Who knows? Like, all those hinting had me really like, ooh.
Let's have a look. This update 20 hours ago. The NXT Takeover. Gargano versus Adam Cole. Best 2 out of 3. Yes, they are. War Raiders versus Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Awesome. That'll be good.
Oh, fuck yeah. Man, dude. The War Raiders are brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch a lot more NXT. So, well, that kind of adds a thing. So, my only impression by rubbing them the belt in, it's like, well, we're going to kick your ass no matter what because we're still the champions.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that mean now? Like, who they're going to throw the revival against at Mania?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Totally agree.
But saying that, I do wonder whether they'll win at TakeOver and stay in NXT. So this is the other thing, right? Side note, we're going to derail for a second. Mm-hmm. So on NXT, so Tommaso Ciampa had to forfeit his NXT Championship belt to go get neck surgery, as we discussed last week, a little bit before, something like that. So Johnny Gargano is now versing Adam Cole in in a 2 out of 3 falls match after a brilliant 5 fatal 5 whatever the fuck. It was Adam Cole, Aleister Black, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, and Matt Riddle. Holy fuck. That was a brilliant match. And Adam Cole won that, and he gets the shot for the belt, right? What else I going with that? Oh, yeah, so for Johnny Gargano, so with Ciampa being out and Gargano sort of left in the lurch, because having the 4 of them move up to the main roster at the main time, or at least make their main roster debuts at the same time, and it looks as if they were going to have Gargano and Ciampa be a tag team that whole time. Bring back DIY, keep that together. That way
I did see how that ended.
Yeah, so you can have one of them go to Raw, one of them go to SmackDown, and one on, right? But it looks as if with Ciampa out, Gargano's lost. They're not going to do with him. I think they're going to keep him in NXT, keep him strong down there for a while, and maybe bring him up again with somebody else. So for that reason alone, like keeping him back there, it makes me wonder what they're going to do with Black and Ricochet. Like because they have been doing all 3 shows.
Yeah, they have.
That's
spread
impressive.
Very thin. Yeah.
So
every week.
Because the week after Mania, we're going to have the Superstar, what is it, Shake Up. So we'll find out whether they are coming up, where they're going, and obviously the takeover at NXT will remain that. I don't know, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of different balls in the air.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things. It's one of those, this happens if this happens, but that and this. But it's a long-ass equation at this point, right? There's all these different variables that really throw a spanner in the works. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre wander on out. Gives us a little promo ahead of WrestleMania.
He wants an answer.
So at this point, sorry, I had to poke with a pencil. Right. Last week, he did put out the request for Roman Reigns to have that match at WrestleMania. As of right now, Roman Reigns hadn't given an answer.
A week's a long time to wait. Impatient bastard.
Next, and they got some real brutal words here. Gets along the lines of one, not just going to win, he's going to kill him, he's going to beat the shit out of him, he's going to mush him. And one of the exact quote was, he's speaking specifically to his wife and his kids, and says, you have already seen him fight death. So you've already seen him fight for his life, and you'll see it again. Yeah, exactly. Like, that is fucking dark.
Yeah, that was brutal, especially because he's like, I'm not talking to Roman now, I'm talking to Joe. Yeah. And he's like full digging into his family, like, you've already seen him fight for his life. Yeah, that was, see that again. That was harsh.
So I quite like Drew McIntyre. And then saying that, I was like, nah, fuck that noise. Yeah. Punch him, Roman.
Yep, exactly it. But he's like, yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. So Drew then goes on to like threaten that, like, I'll wait here all night. I'll take this show hostage.
Everyone does.
And then Roman Reigns. And I was like, okay, here we go. He's gonna deck him. And they get face to face, and Reigns is like, look, Roman accepts, but I'm not talking as Roman now. And if you, like, don't you ever talk about, like, what is it? I've got it here, actually. He says, don't you ever run your mouth about my wife and kids, and then just socks him.
Yeah,
just brutal beatdown.
Yeah, it was and then it did end with McIntyre getting old dick punch. I made very clear to especially because one of the things that sold me on returning to wrestling was when Daniel Bryan proceeded to dick punch AJ Styles for like 4 weeks.
Good old low.
Yeah, and then I found out that Shinsuke is like a serial dick puncher.
Yeah.
So that made me giggle even harder again.
Yeah, all of it. There's a lot of low blows there.
So for that reason, like, this is going to be a huge beatdown, and I can't wait for it. Because, like, Drew McIntyre is a big, burly dude, and he was having an incredibly huge push last year. And then once he sort of got involved in a 3-man blend, that really kind of, like, mellowed out and got very unexciting.
Yeah.
Having Roman come back, it's awesome.
Putting him in the spotlight as an individual competitor again.
Yeah,
is probably the
obviously,
best thing
with
to do.
with the Shield done now, it
Yes.
makes total sense.
I exterminated the Shield.
Like, this is a match that I wanna see.
Yeah, definitely. But then, obviously, like, Drew does end up getting the upper hand and gives a big old Claymore kick and a bit of a beatdown before he gets carted out. And as he's walking backstage, he encounters Dean Ambrose again. Dean Ambrose is like, I'm a cockroach, huh? You exterminated me, did ya? Well, I don't feel very exterminated. How about you and me go at it again tonight? What was it? It was a last man standing match. And he's like, I don't know how you're still standing tonight, but okay.
I don't know how. He was, I don't know how you're standing right now. By the end of the night, you won't be. I'm like, lame.
Ooh.
Lame.
Typical insult. You're so scary.
Yeah.
You went from being a badass out there to like being a bit rubbish back
here.
here.
Some horrible shit, and you're like, no, you want more than mine. I was like, dude, come on.
Pick your battles.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, next we have Sasha with Bayley versus Natalya with Beth Phoenix in her corner.
Yeah, so Sasha v Natalya with I thought it was going to be a tag team match, but it wasn't.
Yeah, no, same. In Sasha's hometown of Boston, aka Bosstown.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty exciting. But straight away I knew, like, Boston, Sasha's going to win. Like, that's hometown hero. She can't not. She's a champion.
Saying that, no one won.
But no one won because friggin' Nia and Tamina come out. I did have a giggle though because at one point during the match, Bayley must have been shouting something at Natalya because Natty's like, "Shut up, Bayley!" I was like, "Oh, daggers, sharp words, very insulting." But yeah, Nia and Tamina ambush, and Beth Phoenix single-handedly annihilates the both of them. Like,
annihilates
them. Doesn't even hesitate when she gets Nia Jax up on her shoulders. Doesn't even look like she's struggling. She's like, meh, plop. I was like, Beth still got it. And even everybody was chanting like, you still got it. And I was like, yeah, she does. And like her and Natalya have a cutesy little hug. And then like obviously Sasha and Bayley are grabbing their belts and are about to run. And foot gets stamped on the belt. And Natalya and Beth just stare down Sasha and Bayley like, we're coming for you. And I was like, yes, all of this. Yes. Like, I'm so excited for Beth to be back. And I was really, really excited. But they hung there for a little while and I was curious. And then it cuts to the announcement of the next Hall of Fame inductees.
Yes.
Which is Jim and I've got it here.
So Jim the Anvil Neidhart and
Jim,
Brett.
and Bret Hart.
Hitman. Yeah, Bret the Hitman Hart.
So Jim the Anvil Neidhart is Natalya's father who has passed away. And obviously Bret the Hitman Hart. They were the Hart Foundation. Natalya is obviously of the Hart family. So for her, this is a huge announcement. So she is in the ring, obviously welling up.
Because she'll be accepting on their behalf.
Yeah, she'll be accepting on their behalf. Yep. So she's obviously paying homage to her father with that. And I got real teary. I was just like, because I've watched a lot of like Total Divas and stuff like that. And I watched what Natalya went through with her father with like addictions and things like that. And it was a really, really heartbreaking story. So seeing her the way she was, I was sitting there just having a bit of a teary.
No, it's really
beautiful.
It's an incredibly powerful moment to sort of to see this because it is all pun intended. Sorry, pun not intended. Raw. Like it was raw emotion. It was very cool, and especially after the sort of the bullshit going around with the Riott Squad last year around getting up and jumping in Natalya's shit, especially with the recent passing of her father.
Yeah.
For her to have this moment and to be able to share that with everyone, and
doing what her and her family have always
That's
loved.
true. Like, it's that weird situation, like, part of the WWE Hall of Fame, everyone kind of really understands that it's not a Hall of Fame per se. It's a little bit vague on its rules. But that doesn't take away the power of this decision.
Yeah.
If any... It just makes it so much sweeter.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Seeing this moment, be able to share this moment, and be able to share that moment with Beth Phoenix too. Which
exactly.
Powerful
Best friends.
it was great.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, so I have, like, over time, once again, I'm understanding more and caring for Natalya as a competitor. To me, she's still Priscilla, Queen of the Road Warriors.
Yeah,
but that's a sign of respect.
Yeah, when you see them, showing their real raw, candid emotions, you do become that little bit more attached to them, for sure.
And things like this are what make wrestling amazing.
Exactly.
These moments like this.
Yeah. Because it does make you feel things, and it does. Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing.
Very, very cool. Yes, that was the next thing I wrote there. Next, we get Kurt Angle versus.
He has a little interview backstage first.
Kurt Angle and my handwriting is abhorrent.
It was Kurt Angle versus Joe.
Yeah, it must have said Kurt Angle and someone.
Where was that though?
Where's the Kurt Angle match? Hi everyone, my handwriting's disgusting.
So Kurt's interviewed first. So he is backstage. He's getting interviewed about why he's chosen Baron Corbin. I think again.
That's right. Yeah, Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin. That's right.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, Baron Corbin interrupts and he's like, "I'm gonna embarrass you," and apparently I think he said something about having him crying on his last match or whatever. I don't know. I don't listen to Baron Corbin. All I hear is meh meh meh. I'm a giant douche. So I didn't really pay too much attention to that. Yeah, that's pretty much Baron Corbin to a T. So, but yeah, Kurt ends up like walking away and saying, like, what does he say to him? Something really lame, like, it was just so cheesy. I was like, okay, really? And I can't remember what he said for the life of me now. But it's super cheesy. But then, Sasha and Bayley also get interviewed.
Sasha and Bayley come in. They get interviewed. So this is shortly after Alexa Bliss enters, ready for her moment of bliss. So during this conversation, Sasha very clearly drops a hint of a cross-brand women's tag team match at WrestleMania.
Yep, because we'll take on anyone from any brand, anywhere. If they're all going to come for us, we'll take them all on at Mania.
Which we do get confirmation a little bit later.
Yes.
But we'll go for it right now. So we confirm that the match at WrestleMania is Sasha and Bayley, the Boss Hug Connection, versus Beth and Natalya, versus the Iconics, versus the Samoan Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Nia Jax and Tamina.
Yeah.
Pardon me? Fuck yeah, Iconics.
Yeah.
Like, I still think they're a fucking hot mess. But
they're iconic.
They're our hot mess.
Yeah.
As the more I watch them, the more I get them, the more I realize these guys are the jesters of WWE.
Yep.
And I support them wholeheartedly.
I am all about it. They truly are iconic.
That's going to be an interesting match.
It is.
I don't give a fuck about Nia Jax and Tamina, as always. That's nothing new for me. For me, this match, is entirely based around Iconics.
Yeah, definitely. I am very much the same. As much as I'm stoked to see, obviously, Beth Phoenix is very clearly ring ready, and I'm stoked to see her in competition. I would love, again, and I've been saying this for ages, I want to see the Iconics with the belts around their waists. Because every week...
They pinned. They had a tag team on SmackDown and they won.
Yeah. I find it hilarious. Like, just the way they speak and everything, they're going to be so entertaining and so dorky, and they need more screen time. They need to talk more because they are great. And I love hearing their accents on screen.
Saying that, it does hurt two of my theories. which makes me very sad. First theory that we're going to get
Trish later.
Big one. Big sad face for me there. Big sad face for you there. Honestly, I need more leader in my life.
Yeah.
So that's a big bummer.
Later.
I thought they would be able to have a cool champion, like sort of champions match. Oh, sorry, Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Legends match.
Legends match.
I
didn't say anything, but
but you fed me. You gave me what I needed. So I was, either it was a Legends match, or if anything, it would have been Raw, SmackDown, Legends.
Yeah.
That would have been great. So I guess the Legends in this case is Natalya and Beth Phoenix. I don't quite consider them the legends that like Lita and Trish are. So that's fine. If anything, that could be like an evolution match if they decide to do that pay-per-view this year. The other option would have been, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Yeah.
Which would have been ideally the Sky Pirates. Which we're not going to see. Sky Pirates also like a sex move.
Yeah.
But like that's what I would have much preferred to have seen. Just, or even... Actually, look, I still hold my ground. Fucking piss off Nia Jax, piss off Tamina, put Sky Pirates.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you've got your Raw, you've got your SmackDown, you've got your NXT. Like, Nia Jax and Tamina are there for fuck knows reasons. Yep. I don't care for them, and they have shown no reason in the last couple of weeks why they deserve this shot.
They don't deserve shit. All they've done is, like, brutally attack people for no reason.
And in terms of the spirit of competition, they have done jack shit to earn this. Come last year, Nia Jax was pretty prominent. She has done a lot. Last WrestleMania she won the belt off Alexa Bliss, so she had a Raw championship run for a little while. Lost that, gone. Right,
nothing.
Dealio. Then on top of that, she won the Battle Royal at Evolution. Like she's been around. She was in the Royal Rumble where she had a strong spot.
Yep.
Like the things that are there, but since Rumble, which was in January, we're now at the end of March. She has no way earned that spot.
No, not at all. I think nothing of her, and if she wasn't there, like, even if she's going to be there, I probably won't notice her.
So, and even the Iconics, right? They haven't truly earned their way in there because there's not many other female tag teams on SmackDown.
Yeah,
it felt kind of an easy.
Yep, easy way in.
Don't care.
Yep, don't even, no.
It's weird how I'm willing to look one way and from like, nah, they've done nothing but the Iconics. Nah, we're cool.
Yeah, you're willing to give people you like a slide.
That's true.
But yeah, so next we have a moment of boobies. I mean, bliss.
A moment of bliss with Braun Strowman and the SNL dorks.
Colin, Jost, and Michael Che.
Don't care. Just don't care for them at all.
So they're special guest correspondent.
Yeah, one of the things I really loved is Alexa Bliss, who was Braun Strowman's partner during the Mixed Match Challenge last year. So they've got some friendship there. They've got some connection, and it's like there was that one. You were about losing your temper. That one time you flipped an ambulance. Yep.
Yeah.
That one time you broke down the entire back end of the Raw set to hurt Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
That's correct. And the time you beat the living piss out of Vince McMahon's limo. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, it was like,
I love that he just laughed at all of that, and she's like, yeah. So what's gonna happen if you get your hands on Michael Che and Colin Jost?
So pretty much so then we get a live feed, presumably a feed from the SNL guys talking about how we're really like we tried to help you out, and the white dude
Jost,
I don't give a shit, Whitey, he is sort of antagonizing, digging a hole, saying
I told you I'd be your. I was serious with my Twitter bio when I said I want to be your mentor. He was making jokes that didn't land, like,
He learned how to, like, eat food properly and use knife and fork. And he's like,
my parents paid $15 million to get me into the women's, like, something team
women's
at school.
relay team.
Yeah. Just jokes that weren't landing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and on top of that, and he's like, look, Braun,
I want you to pay me back for the car.
Like, you're 5'11", 180 pounds. Like, you're not that scary. And he's like, dude, this guy's 6'4", 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, his mate's like, dude, stop, you're digging yourself a hole.
Pounds.
And he's like, I just want you to pay me back for the car and say you're sorry. And
so essentially, Braun propositions them to enter the I get it wrong.
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, whatever, right?
Memorial Battle Royale.
So he's requested that both SNL guys get involved.
Well, so initially he's like, you want to make this right? Michael Chase said on Instagram this season it needs to be fixed financially, mentally, or physically. He's like, well, I choose the third. So I suggest that Colin Jost enter the Andre the Giant battle, like Memorial Battle Royale. And he's like, you've got to be kidding me. Wow. Michael Chase like, no. He's in. Yeah, he's in. And then Jost is like, yeah, well, if I'm in, you're in. So they both end up entering. And Braun's like, Alexa, can you make this happen? And she's like, look, I know I'm hosting WrestleMania, but I can't just make things happen. And we're going to have to go through the right. I'm just kidding. You can have it. You've got this. This match is official. And I was like, oh, damn. Yeah. That was so good. I was so like, I love that. That was so good.
So then we get Elias at Madison Square Garden, or whatever the hell he does there. Next we get Baron Corbin. He comes in, and what I really loved,
former announcements achievements.
Yeah, so during his entrance, they listed all his former achievements, whether it be former GM, former heavyweight champion, former this, former captain of the fucking wrestling team.
Because earlier in the night, he obviously spoke about to Kurt about all his former achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that did make me giggle.
That was pretty good.
But then it was a match against Apollo Crews.
Can I just mention, before the match kicks off, they do cut to I saw a little bit of a Snickers ad with
Bobby Roode.
The glorious entrance, and like the whole like, you're not you without a Snickers thing. It's like you're not glorious without Snickers. I was like, that was great. I really appreciated that little ad, and that was probably my favorite part of that match.
The first time I saw that, I was like, he's taking on Bobby Roode.
Yeah. I heard them say it just like an announcement from Snickers, and then I watched that whole little thing, and I was like, this is hilarious, and I loved it.
Because I was watching with my kid, so he was being a kid, so I was kind of dropping in and out, and I missed the Snickers reference.
Oh, it was so
all I
good.
see is the entrance. I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
At the bottom it's like, you're not glorious. Is Bobby Roode
drunk?
Yeah.
Like, what's this? And it's like, it's not.
Because it looked so real.
It looked brilliant.
But yeah, exactly. that was great. That was my honestly favorite part of that whole match, because we saw this last week.
So the match with Apollo Crews, Corbin wins with an end of days, and then continues to deliver a second one after the bell.
Because he's a sore winner.
Yeah, so look, there's a couple of imagery things here. So with Kurt Angle taking on Apollo Crews 2 weeks ago and winning, all this is really doing is having Baron show that he too can beat Apollo Crews, showing him as a legitimate threat moving into Mania against Kurt Angle.
Definitely.
What do you think of the match?
Meh.
Same. Seth Rollins comes out, does a bit of Mania build-up promo, talks about how he inspires people.
Phenomenal.
Which is brilliant. I actually totally agree.
How it's not just him versus Brock Lesnar, it's him in the WWE Universe that versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, which sort of the idea that like, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this for you, like this is what everyone wants sort of thing.
Yeah.
Heyman walks out, as he does, being the advocate.
Yeah.
Mentions, once again, drifting in and out. I'm paying attention, so I'm mucking around with my kid. And then I hear Paul Heyman go, so it's a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Thanks for telling me.
Like, I may have been wrestling about my kid. I'm like, what? So I've got my kid in some lock.
I thought the same thing. I was like, hold on, what do you mean it's a 2-on? And he's like, it's you and the WWE Universe. And I was like,
and then I deuced my kid in the couch. It's not as exciting as anticipated.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was a cool build-up. Paul Heyman delivered an exceptional promo, as he does.
Yeah.
He is on point. He's always on point.
There's a reason he's the advocate.
Yeah. So what? And then on top of that, they're done. So Paul tends to walk away. Seth Rollins briskly runs up behind him. Paul Heyman turns around and sees him, drops
on his ass.
Whimpers. He's like, oh man, I hope you win. It's fine. I'm sorry.
I hope you win. I'm just the advocate. He tells me to say everything. Like Brock told me to say it. And he's like, because he goes on. Paul had said something about like, I know your generation and it's all about hopes and prayers, and give me your hopes and prayers about this and hopes and prayers about that, and like, Seth is like, Paul, I'm not asking for everybody's hopes and prayers. I'm answering them. And I was like, oi. And then he's just like, oh, 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 and then he's just like bam, and mic drops on Paul Heyman. I was like, oh, and Paul's like, ow.
And next thing, Kurt Angle's music kicks in. It's brilliant. And then it's like, you suck. And then Kurt Angle, in the genius that he is, as everyone's yelling, you suck, he turns and he points
at Paul Heyman.
So I forgot that, we're on audio and video. So for those that audio, no one realized that we were just pointing at a pretend Paul Heyman. So clarification, Kurt Angle walks out as the you sucked Paul Heyman, who's looking just this big, sad lump of a man.
Freaking out because he thought he was going to get attacked by Kurt Angle or something. And Kurt's just like pointing at him with the you sucks. And I was just like, brilliant. Kurt is brilliant. So good.
In an exceptional turn of events, they did announce that Kurt Angle this evening would be taking on Samoa Joe, the current United States champion, SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is their first and only match in the WWE.
That's correct. So they did have some beef around Impact days. So this was kind of a big send off to their Impact time, which is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And Joe obviously does say, like, I'm not a sentimental person. I didn't bring flowers or cards, but I do have a gift for you. And the one thing you need before WrestleMania is a good night's rest. So I'm going to put you to sleep. I was like, oh, that's smart. That's very smart.
Now,
but
I'm just going to say one thing. I don't know whether you've noticed this, but there has been a lot of cross-branding going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cross-branding.
Yeah.
Just saying. I don't know what that speculates to. I'm just dropping some. I'm like not saying anything in specific. I'm just putting it out there, man.
Just saying it out there. There has been a lot of cross-branding.
Just keep an eye out.
Yeah, there could be something. But yeah, so we obviously see Joe versus Kurt, which obviously, like, I was like, oh great, Kurt's gonna get smushed.
Fuck this chair.
Kurt's gonna get smushed. But so obviously it's pretty dominant on Joe's behalf for the match, and he ends up getting Kurt in the coquina clutch. Mm-hmm. But Kurt does this amazing counter thingy and ends up like pinning him for the win. And like Kurt being Kurt was smart. He got the hell out of Dodge because we all know what Joe's like when he loses. But I was just like, whoa, not expecting that.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't suck.
That was great. Yeah, that was so good. And that was a good little, like, obviously they do have a very long-winded, beef back in Impact days. So it was really nice to see that, like, I guess that put to an end finally.
Yes, put that to rest. And then start to put sort of Kurt to rest, as we know.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, I've got to put notes down for the next two bits. So it's all on you.
So I didn't catch the very end of the last match, but we're not there yet. So, so next we have Triple H, who comes out, and when they cut out to an ad while he's coming out, and when he comes back, he's like, first of all, I want to start by saying thank you to everybody here, because you all stood and gave me a standing ovation all through the ad break. Like, that's huge. Thank you. Yeah. He goes on to say, like, he wants to say thank you to Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda and the women's division for being the first ever WrestleMania headliners. It's a huge progress for the WWE and the women's division and all the women that have been, past, present, and future. And yeah, it was really beautiful. And then he goes on to talk about Batista and his match. And he stood there for a good minute, like, trying to get an envelope out of his jacket. It's like, it's stuck. I've really got to work for this. And then he's like, pulls out these papers and he's like, so I've been given some paperwork from some lawyers from Batista. And it goes on to say, like, blah, blah, blah. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. And then he goes, this is the best part. He's like, give me what I want, what I really, really want. I really, really, really wanna, and this goes on for pages, guys. He starts pulling the pages, and I was just like, I love Triple H so much.
Like, to bring, like, who pumps the Spice Girls reference in these days?
Triple H does, guys. Triple H listens to the Spice Girls, so that was phenomenal. But then apparently, like, Batista. Essentially, it's like it finally gets to the point. Batista wants my wrestling career on the line.
Which he did allude to.
Yes.
I'm getting emotional. Which they did allude to last week with the idea of this, Batista about this being his farewell match, and he wants to put Triple H.
Yeah, he is. He wants to go out on his terms, and he wants Triple H to go out on his terms as well. So, Triple H accepts. He's like, fine. You want it? You got it.
This is great. So, in terms of how this goes down, right? Both these dudes are old as shit. And, like, this does seem like a good way for
Batista to
cut ties and sever that connection. It's a good way for Triple H to transition out of being a competitor, heading to more behind the scenes, because as we know, Vince McMahon is looking to push XFL again towards the end of this year. If anything, that allows Triple H to step up and become the new CEO. Rather than just the COO. Look, that's total speculation. There's no truth to that at all.
It's totally speculation. But that's definitely seeming where it's going.
He did, so we saw him compete last year against The Undertaker. He did his final match with, his long-term foe, The Undertaker. So a lot of his storylines have been put to rest, aside from Batista. So if either way, how this goes, if he loses, it actually ticks 2 boxes. It allows him to focus more on being corporate H rather than Wrestle H, and so some transitioning backstage, as well as giving him that good clean out.
Yes.
I'm pretty keen. And that peck injury was pretty huge.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's an old dude. I think it's time for him to step away.
Definitely.
Anyway. And I think this way actually is a really cool way to go out.
Yeah,
compared
definitely.
to him going, I'm doing more business stuff. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was awesome. Totally hilarious. He is such a funny person. And I just really enjoyed that whole promo.
And look, he's going to have to take some time away for when he decides to come and help create NXT Australia. So, he needs to not be at matches, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Once again, no confirmation. Just putting it out there, man.
Exactly.
Just starting conversation.
Yep.
NXT AU. Set it out of Geelong. Geelong's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do that.
Do it in Melbourne, and then sort of take in PCW, take in Melbourne City Wrestling.
I think they will. Yeah, definitely.
Buy them out.
It'll be awesome. So that leads us into our final match of the night, which is Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre in a last man standing match.
See, I missed this match actually.
I caught a lot of it. I didn't see the ending.
Do you know the result though?
I don't. I had to leave for work. So
I put my son to bed.
Yeah, so I because I only got the chance to watch them this morning. I've been very busy this week, and I did end up having to work this afternoon. So I only caught about half of the match. I didn't catch the end of it. So, from what I saw, I got up to about shortly after the kendo stick. There was a kendo stick pulled out. Yep. McIntyre was beating the hell out of Ambrose. There were massive welts on chests. But that's the furthest I got into it. So I will have to. So
we'll have to admit that we're going to need to skim past that one. I can see Dean Ambrose gets mushed into the ring, into the apron. And then somebody's squeezing through some photos. See, then we can see who gets the pin.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really matter because we didn't watch it.
It's last man standing, so there's no pinning. It's whoever is completely decimated. Yeah. So.
I think.
Here, let me have a look.
I believe it may be Drew. Because all I'm seeing is Dean Ambrose smushed into a table. So I think for that reason, I think Drew wins. My nose is just leaking up a storm in here.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
It's a bit musty in here. But yeah, all right, let's ignore that last part. It's fine. What did you think of this week's episode of Raw? I'm gonna open this window and get some air in here.
I was pretty happy with it. For the most part.
See my jammy pants.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked on it. If I had to give it, I'd give it 1.5 Kurt Angles.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.5 Kurt Angles.
I'll have a quick look back over it. Some solid promo work in there. A couple of good stuff. Yeah, I'm going right down the middle. I'm going to give it a 1. It's a 1. It's a 1 for me. It had some real standout moments. There was some cool setups and stuff, but overall, it was adequate.
So yeah, I've just quickly found something. Apparently, so McIntyre drove Ambrose to a table. Yep. He managed to get up, got Claymore kicked, and that was it. So yeah.
The Claymore kick is a brutal.
So yeah, that was good. Good momentum for Drew McIntyre heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, especially heading in with Roman, and as we know, Drew is heading out after WrestleMania. I mean, so it makes sense for him to not go in strong.
Yes.
Let us know.
Yeah, tell us what you think.
What you thought of this week's episode of Monday Night RAW. There's comments below, or Discord, or Facebook. Come chat to us.
I found it a bit saturated, I think. That was the word I was looking for before. It was a lot to take in. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot to take in, but nothing really stood out.
Yeah, exactly it.
Yeah, there was nothing sort of momentous like this week's episode of SmackDown.
Fine.
All right, so this episode of SmackDown kicked off with the New Day.
Yes, it is.
They entered to discuss that they were considering quitting.
Yeah.
As we saw on Twitter, and so it's like Big E and Xavier were talking about how it's tough for men like them in the industry. They don't seem to be getting that win. They just been getting that advantage. You know, Xavier talks about how he's up, down, down. So if he ever needs to bounce out, he's covered. And Big E sort of goes along with different line. That's what the idea. This is bullshit. It's not how it should be treated. It's a hot mess.
And we've openly been discussing leaving.
Yes.
We just need answers before we can go anywhere.
Yeah. So in order for us to make any decisions, we do need to speak to Vince McMahon. So they've done the whole. We'll stay in this ring until Vince rocks up.
Yeah, we'll hold the show.
Seconds,
hostage. It comes out looking like the guy from Men in Black.
See, this is the
sugar.
Thing. I'm sure I said this before, but Vince McMahon, late last year, he looked like a sick mess, like a gaunt, skinny mess, right? He looked not well.
Yeah.
Saying that, now that he's all super heel again, and he's doing the Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
And like the Kevin Owens, like he seems to look healthier.
Yes.
I think he genuinely feeds off booze.
Yes, you did say this.
I did say this?
You said this last
week.
week.
That does sound like me.
Genuinely.
Yeah, like even this week again, he looked healthier again.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. He is a succubus of booze.
Yep, I think so.
Does sound like me.
Your hate feeds him.
He does. The hate feeds him well. Yes. So he comes out and he sorts back, gets ready to deliver a big old chat to the New Day. But Daniel Bryan and Rowan do enter, saying that Vince should just let them quit. You know, they are replaceable.
We'll just grab 3 guys from NXT, call them like fresh morning or something like that.
Fresh afternoon or something.
Yeah, fresh afternoon, and they'll throw out waffles and they'll be better than the New Day ever will be.
Yeah, interesting angle. I did quite like that a lot. And then so Xavier gets up in Daniel's face by the idea that Daniel has become what he used to hate.
Exactly.
He's been a hypocrite. He's sort of changed. He's now sort of become.
And he definitely is, because, and I think I said this last week, back in the day, this is going back 5 years ago when Daniel Bryan was in the Kofi Kingston's position, he was called a B+ player. And now he's using that exact term that was used against him against others. He's 100% a hypocrite. 100% to the word. You're a B+ player. So yeah, it was interesting for Xavier to call that out. And I was really proud that he did. I was like, yes, you tell him how it is, because that is how it is. He is a massive hypocrite. But yeah, Vince goes on to say, like, look, Kofi is a B+ player, but I need to know if you two are B+ tag team.
Yeah, so Vince calls them out, sort of saying that, look, you know you weren't quitting. I know you weren't quitting. This is a ploy.
Yeah.
I know it was a ploy. And he talks about how Kofi has no more opportunities. Kofi has spent all his opportunities. However, if Xavier and Big E care so much and are so invested in Kofi, they need to show that. They need to show the down, not the B+ players. So what he's mentioned for the 3rd time in a month, that they need to get involved in a tag team gauntlet match. And if they win, Kofi
goes to Mania.
Gets his shot.
Against Daniel Bryan for the title.
Yeah. So they accept, but they don't physically say they accept, but we get the promotion.
It's implied,
We get the promo card at the bottom. It's happening. They've accepted. Before you jump into the next part, so what do you think about the idea of these gauntlet matches that just keep getting up and up and up?
I think I like the idea of the tag team gauntlet match more than anything, because the last gauntlet match we did see, it was tag teams against Kofi, which I was like, clearly disadvantaged. Like, that's just, I'm not interested in this. Like, I want to see the guy have a chance. But this one actually piqued my interest, I think, because it's interesting to see, Big E and Xavier properly compete. It's been a little while. I love watching those guys wrestle. And to see if they really are as dedicated to the cause of Kofi Kingston as they say they are. I'm a bit over gauntlet matches now. I'd like to not see one for a little while, but I was actually quite excited about this.
It's tough sell, right? So in these gauntlet matches, it's all around the idea of one person showing a dominating force over a handful of the dudes, right? And up until this point, Kofi has done it twice. Mm-hmm. So he's shown to be a relentless. His stamina is huge. He can fight. He can win. In both those times, Daniel Bryan has been involved in some capacity. Oh, granted, look, he didn't win last week because Daniel came in and got the win.
Yeah.
But you know, if anything, if Daniel Bryan, I don't believe they're showing the problem with these gauntlet matches is they're showing Kofi to be this up here super mega tier wrestler, which he is, but it's not showing Daniel Bryan matching that.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's just it doesn't seem like a competitive match.
Yeah, it doesn't.
All this build up to then him taking on Daniel. I'm like, dude, I've seen you destroy 10 people.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take on one dude.
Yeah.
Daniel's got nothing. Nothing.
Exactly.
So that's the only downside to the gauntlet matches for me.
Yeah,
great to watch. True. I'm enjoying seeing them. Not as many as I thought. I'm seeing too many in a small period of time. Yeah. But in terms of where it's going and how it shows the build up and the competition towards Mania, it seemed a bit of a loss, me personally.
That's true.
Next we get to Becky. She's doing a big promo talking about the main event match and how we know what she's bringing.
Yes.
Like in terms of she's bringing the crowd.
Ronda's bringing the belt.
Ronda's bringing the belt. What's Charlotte
bringing? What is she bringing? And she makes a valid point, but then she gets interrupted by Charlotte's music.
Who's already out in the ring, wearing her pink labia looking jacket.
Yeah. And she says, you know what, like, what do I bring? Like, I'm just the third wheel. I'll show you what I'm bringing to this.
And then
she goes to the ring. She's clearly about to compete. Asuka comes out. And it's announced while they're standing in the ring that it is a WWE SmackDown Women's Championship title match.
I love it. You literally hear the crowd go,
yeah, I was like, everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah, I was like, what the actual fuck?
And we're like, of course. I was like, of course, the chosen one gets a title match for no reason.
All this is showing Flair's power in this space. So if anything, there's some backstage antics here. She's chatting, you know, if Vince McMahon...
She's in Vince's ear like Bryan is.
Well, she already is. Like, this is the thing. Like, Vince already sees her very clearly as more of a superstar than Becky. That's a given. So with this conversation, if this has happened and there's been, you know, Becky's not a silent person. We've seen her on social media. So I guarantee you she's mentioned this shit before. So that gave Charlotte that time to go to Mr. McMahon's office, go, I want a title match. I want to get Asuka. I want it tonight.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Vince went, yeah. That it. Like, because, you know, we've known that...
he would have been on his phone like...
We know that Vince has no issue with putting her in this match, so he's willing to potentially squash Asuka in the process. Like, Asuka has already been very heavily buried within the build-up from her win at TLC.
2 matches?
Yeah, not even.
Since the last pay-per-view?
Yeah, she had the title match at Fastlane against Mandy Rose, which we've seen nothing of that since.
Yeah.
So there's
seen nothing of Asuka since.
There's build up of this feud between between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, so nothing out of that either, as we should mention.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Asuka's done nothing. She's been off in the background, so they've wasted the belt on her, period.
Yeah.
Look, it was an excellent match.
It was the essentially last year's WrestleMania rematch.
Yeah, it's the outcome here that's more worth talking about. So it did end with a figure 8 lock. Asuka clean tap.
Yes.
Charlotte is now the 8th time.
First ever woman to have 8 titles. So she is the 8th time. I don't think it's WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah, she's been a Women's Champion 8 times on Raw and SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So she's now the Women's... She's now the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yes.
So that brings 2 belts heading into
Mania match.
Into Mania. So this is where it's a couple of interesting things for me. Mm-hmm. It's a bloody shame for Asuka.
Yeah,
what does that mean for Asuka coming to Mania? I was hoping she'd get a match. I think she'd be something awesome, very cool. But I don't know what that means. Like whether what they do with her now. And that's a real bloody shame.
That is.
2. What is this? Like, is this... Because this is for the Raw Women's Championship, right?
Yeah.
So, if anything, it adds a bunch of speculation to me. So, even if Charlotte loses, she can still be on SmackDown and keep the belt.
Yes.
If anything, to me, this shows this shows how minimal involvement Charlotte's going to have in this match. So it's really a match between Becky and Ronda, and it's always been that. So Charlotte's there. If she loses, she's like, oh, well, I'm just going to go over here. And if Ronda retains, this opens up a brilliant feud between Becky and Ronda on Raw. Becky is no longer at SmackDown. Hold me to it. Dollars to donuts. She's not here.
Come shake up. She's moving.
So, and if that's the case, Becky still wins. If Becky wins, stays at Raw, that keeps these two women separate. It closes off this long ass storyline that they've had together, or this, sort of this big old feud, and opens up to somebody else moving their way up. Yeah. And as we've mentioned before, it's very likely to be Lacey Evans.
Well, I was just about to say maybe it's not Lacey Evans because we haven't seen her this week.
Oh, we didn't.
We did not see Lacey Evans this week.
But I mean, so if anything, it's kind of shown me a definitive winner. Yeah. Of it's either Becky or Ronda, given. Like Charlotte shows she's literally no threat to this match.
Not at all.
Like what? Because it's one of those things. If she wins, what does that mean? What is it? She's got 2 belts. She can't have 2 belts. She has to pick one. So then she picks Raw. That just shows that SmackDown's belt means literally less. Literally less. Yeah. Like there is a concern always, the mid-card belts always mean nothing, but the IC belt always seems to get more time than the US belt, right? Yeah. So if anything, it was Finn Balor gets a shot at both belts. He decides to have the IC champ over the UC belt. Makes that belt seem worthless. Yeah. Right? It's this weird setup. Like it's cool. It's also nothing. Yeah. It's also nothing. But we'll get into that more a bit later. Once again, I've lost my spot. So there's a lot going on. But what's your thoughts on this belt thing? So I'll just vent once again.
No, you're more than welcome. I actually haven't thought that much into it, to be honest. I'm kind of hoping that both titles end up on the line. And, depending on who, say, Becky being the only one without a title, depending on who she targets and tries to take out, would be where she goes.
That's an interesting angle. So rather than being a Raw or a SmackDown, it's Becky fighting both of them for a belt. Yeah. That's the way cool. So it comes almost like a 2-on-1 handicap.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I like that better, actually.
Yeah. So that's the way I see it. I definitely think it's for me, I reckon Becky's going to win the match. And for me, it's which brand does Becky choose?
Fuck, that's way cooler.
Yeah.
See, I went very pessimistic. You were very optimistic. I like that. It's much better. Much better.
I'm not a sad piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. I
am certainly a sad piece of shit. Don't get me wrong.
No, I very much am too.
I'm
an optimistic sad piece of shit.
Yeah, no, I'm just pessimistic as fuck right now. Next up, we saw Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles, which was officially not like it was 3 weeks ago. This is his last stop on his farewell tour. This is literally his final televised match.
Yeah, before WrestleMania.
Yeah, so kick things off. Times. It was very sad. So AJ comes in, and these guys go at it in fucking seconds.
So he has a little promo backstage first, and they're just like, look, what do you think being Kurt Angle's last, SmackDown match? He's like, I'm super honored. I'm really stoked to wrestle him. But even though he's laid down all these foundations, it still is the house that AJ Styles built. And then he goes out and they have their little match. As straight off the bat, Kurt Angle just slams him into the Angle Slam. I was like, damn, Kurt, you on this? Yeah, and then within seconds, AJ gets him in a calf crusher as well. Yeah,
these guys were relentless straight away.
Yeah, exactly it. And then I'm pretty sure Kurt sort of counters it, and then RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, Randy!
Ruined it!
Old dirty Randy.
Absolutely ruined it. But Kurt comes to and he gives Randy an Angle Slam, and then Randy rolls out of the ring and Kurt's music plays, and I sat there extremely disappointed.
Yeah, so this does which was with his music plays, because this does become a DQ win. Yes, to AJ. Because AJ got hit.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so technically
Kurt lost in his final TV match, which is fine, because I myself am at a stance that if you are doing your final matches, you are to lose. Same goes for Dean Ambrose. Yep. As you do your final matches, it's a good way to tie everything up and you are out. Yep. I'm not saying that you should forfeit your last match. It's just more of from a storytelling perspective. Yeah. It does seem the better way to go. Yeah. And on top of this does add a bit more fuel to the Randy Orton versus AJ Styles match at WrestleMania. Very cool to see what they're up to. Yeah. These guys are in each other's heads.
They are very in each other's heads for sure. I'm a huge fan of the Viper. Everybody knows that
it's common.
A Randy Orton fan.
I don't think we go a week without you mentioning how much you want to just eat him.
Yeah, I would totally just devour that man. But yeah, I'm really excited. The more I see how intensely they're getting into each other's heads, the more I am frothing over the match. And I can't wait to see what the outcome is and where it leads.
It's very interesting that you say you're disappointed, though. Like, I thought you'd be a bit more intrigued, like, have this result. Or is you more disappointed?
I was disappointed for Kurt. Yeah, I was definitely disappointed for Kurt. I think that was a pretty haphazard way to have your last.
Yeah, saying that, though, he has had 3 exceptional final matches against, Apollo Crews, Chad Gable, and Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
like, they were some quality matches. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a Meatloaf song about that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Something like that. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, so like that's still pretty impressive. It's a great sort of build up. It's a setup, and I like it. I like it. Next, we get The Miz coming out here, delivering a promo heading into WrestleMania.
Something I didn't realize. I was like, hey, he's got his microphone thingy on upside down where it has the WWE logo. Apparently, he does that because it's an M.
Yeah, for Miz.
Hi, I'm Gemma, and I'm slow.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
pick
been
things
doing
up.
It actually forever.
I don't take hints.
And it's on his undies.
Love it. I love The Miz. He is awesome. The passion that he delivers, his like what he's talking about tonight, like how badly he just wants to decimate Shane McMahon is just phenomenal.
Saying that though, he's pretty much said this exact shit last week. So as someone that repeats himself often, I can see it. And like we're watching it and Dylan...
You can tell it's genuine.
Dylan goes, didn't he say this last week? Almost word for word. I'm like, yeah, I bet he's been stewing on that shit. Mm-hmm. Like it's one of those things like, when you fixate and you focus all your emotion into something, like
definitely
it repeats in your head. And for that reason is why it's like,
yeah,
and it's just nagging at him. Right?
Yeah,
that's how I see it personally.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree that is what's been going on.
Yeah. So we then get the idea of Miz talking about that he's requested that this match at WrestleMania against Shane McMahon be a falls count anywhere,
yeah. So he can humiliate and annihilate him up close and personal all throughout the arena. I love that.
I do. I like this as a match. It's going to be brilliant.
Definitely.
If anything, for me, it went to, we're not going to get a coast-to-coast. Does that mean that Shane jumping from some dumb thing to another dumb thing? Like
we'll have to wait and see.
Where are we going to see them shooting star presses? Where are we going to see these jump-ins? Like, what's his plan? Like, what's he going to jump off into The Miz? That's what I want to see. So my brain went to quickly scanning around. Like, next time they did a big zoom-out shot, I'm like, okay.
What's around?
They're looking at a prox, I'm like, what do they normally have at a set? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's instantly excited for me.
Yeah.
Shane does enter
with a shit ton of security.
With a bunch of his own little entourage. So he sent, there's about 6 security guys up the front. We get Shelton Benjamin, and then behind him we get Sanity. And next to Shelton Benjamin we get some other dork. I don't know who it was. Yeah, I think it may be one of the clones, or Colin is just spotting his back. I don't know fuck he was, some random jerk.
Yeah, I didn't see.
But yeah, so during this little discussion, Shane talks about how he gets so much satisfaction out of beating Mr. Miz. He said,
you as dumb as your father looks.
I went to the control room. I got it from every possible angle. I have it on DVD. I have it on my phone. I have it everywhere that I am. So whenever I watch it, I just feel good. Like it fills me with this euphoric sensation. It makes me excited. It makes me happy.
He sounds like a pervert.
And I'm gonna beat the living. Like it took me the idea is like I had so much fun punching you, turning around, looking at your dad, saying like, "What's he gonna do to me?" And I grab his dumb fucking
paralyzing him with fear.
Yeah, grabbed his dumb potato face and just gets just all up in his shit.
Loved it.
And talked about the idea of it gets a bit more personal. The idea that it's the dumbest thing. He faces the dumbest thing since his mum giving birth to him.
Saying like, you're like you were your father's biggest mistake was impregnating your mother. Miz just loses it.
Understandably.
Loses it. He takes out all the security and the lackeys from the from the roster, Shelton Benjamin and Sanity and stuff. He ends
Another
up like out in the crowd, like jumping on him off the barriers and stuff like
demonstrating
that.
His fullest kind of potential.
Yeah, demonstrating exactly that. And I was just like, yeah, Miz, you show him. And Shane just sort of runs away with his tail between his legs.
It's like they keep cutting back to Shane and he's slowly inching to the gorilla.
Yeah.
You know, he's like...
Inching back and slowly just making it. Okay, I'm gone.
And then he's out of there.
Yeah, the minute Miz starts moving towards him, he's like, bye-bye.
Then we get a promo for the Iconics talking about them being within the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Iconic!
So yeah, I'm just getting more excited, man.
I love it. I love it.
It's very funny. Like when we first started,
I love those gloves.
When we first started this show, we were like, they are fucking embarrassing, and I hate them.
I know, and now we're just like
15 weeks, 15 episodes, we're like, these are women that are brilliant, and we want them, and we need them.
They're ours. They are national treasures. Yeah. They should be on the $50 bill. They are the best thing that ever happened to us since Vegemite.
Yeah. These should be the new prime ministers. Yeah. That'll be iconic. Yeah, it's very interesting how that changed. Yeah. Then we get the tag team Gauntlet match. As we mentioned, it's the New Day competing against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
ends up being 5 tag teams.
Go through them one by one. First up is Gallows and Anderson, who we haven't seen in a very long time. A very, very sort of quick setup here. Gallows doesn't even get in the ring. Yeah. Anderson gets mushed real down fast.
Bobby Yee.
Then we get Shinsuke and Rusev.
With Lana, who's finally out of her moon boot.
It's been about 8 weeks since Rumble. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, welcome back, Foot. Nice to see you.
Well, yeah, nice to see you, Foot. It's been lovely to see you.
And a really short wig, which she looked very nice in. I know. I have a fixation with Lana. I think she's gorgeous.
She's very bad.
Yeah, she's pretty bad.
You should watch the ride-along that they did with Rusev, Lana, and Aiden English.
Yes.
It's very funny.
Yes, I will watch that.
Yes, I don't remember who got pinned out of this one. I think it may have been Shinsuke.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Shinsuke. Then we get the Bar, who I'm just fucking sick of saying at this point.
Yeah, I'm so sick of Sheamus and Cesaro.
It's just boring me, man. It's just boring me.
I am very... They're there.
And that's about where we're at this point. Then we get the Usos, who...
Well, with that, like, the Bar do get eliminated, and then they get a bit shitty, grab out a table and put Big E through it after they've been eliminated. Nothing gets done about it, and then they get ushered out. And then, the Usos are next in. And, like, they're trying to go Big E and Xavier while Xavier's like, dude, just wait. Let me get him out from the freaking table first.
This was a real good moment of interest. So, right now, Usos, SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
This is like having them come in. It's like, fuck, this is actually pretty huge.
Yeah.
To have them in this Gauntlet match.
I was hoping and praying. I was like, please just don't do this. Because, obviously, they were by Big E and Xavier's side last week watching Kofi in the Gauntlet match. Like, they were the first two there watching them and like helping
and saying that, like,
cheer on.
Previously these guys were feuding like bad, like real bad, like they were
it showed some
proper enemies.
So I was really like, oh god, don't do this. Please don't do this.
And next thing you know, they've got mics in hands. I'm like,
what's going on
this?
Here?
So this idea, they talk about the feuds they've mentioned. They talk about, there's all this thing, this build up, and they're like,
anybody deserves a title match, it is Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. And they're like, everyone in that locker room, like, we believe it. Everyone in that locker room believes it.
We respect
the living shit out of him. He's brilliant. Hey, here it is, Us. We forfeit. Give him our best for Mania. And I'm like,
good luck, Kofi. Yeah, he's like, and they're like, good luck, Kofi at Mania. We forfeit. And I was just like, what? And I'm pretty sure like Big E and Xavier were as confused as I was. I was like, oh my god, they did it. Oh my god, I wanted this. Oh my god. And I was sitting there like, I was actively clapping.
Yeah.
I was so excited because I was listening in my car. So I was super like, and I probably looked like a weirdo because I was in peak hour traffic, just like smiling and clapping to myself.
Yeah, I clapped out as well. I was genuinely like welling up. Yeah. It was beautiful.
Very,
like just in the delivery alone and just like once again, that very emotion. Like it's very like this was the champions, the pinnacle of this division being like, this is bigger than us.
Yeah. And that was beautiful. But at this point, we didn't know how many people that Xavier and Big E would have to fight either. It wasn't announced. So it does get announced that they do have one more opponent. After we see backstage
Daniel Bryan just pull apart his locker room.
Yeah, just flipping their lids and pulling apart. Daniel Bryan was instigating it. Rowan was like, oh, he's smashing things. I should maybe throw a chair and be a bit angry too. It was very, very like follow the leader. It's like having a little
very
bit,
sheeple.
Yeah, very having like a little minion copycat that's just like, oh,
yeah. So then it did come out with the final team was Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
Wearing a Children of Bodom shirt. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so once again, we should always mention whatever metal
Rowan
band.
has some good shirts.
He has some quality taste.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Appreciate it.
So they sort of get involved in the scuff. Like there seems to be no understanding of who's the actual active player at this point.
Yeah, it was really all over the place.
Jumping on each other, just getting all up in hot messes.
Yeah.
In short, in a bit of the scuffle, we get a tornado DDT from Xavier off the apron, putting Daniel Bryan out of commission.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan the entire time is just slinging insults and being the nasty human that he is.
So this forces the focus of Xavier and Big E to Rowan. Rowan's getting involved. He's got them out of the ring. He tries to put Xavier through the announce table.
Yeah, he does get directed. Daniel Bryan is yelling at him like, clear the table, clear the table.
So like he gets him in the Iron Claw, not the vegan claw as we've been calling it.
Yeah.
He gets him in the Iron Claw to drop him in. Xavier gets out, whatever. Big E, who is the current competitor at this point, gives him a big because Rowan is active at this point as well.
Yeah.
Pushes him over the table. He kind of fumbles on his back like a turtle. Next thing, Big E flips the table
on him.
Puts it on him.
The announce table, which is heavy.
Yeah, they get back in the ring. Next thing you know, 8, 9, 10, they lose by count out. Kofi is going to WrestleMania. I genuinely cried.
I cried. And it was even worse when obviously Kofi comes running out and hugging Big E and Xavier, who are clearly damaged. They still pick him up on their shoulders. And the whole crowd, like everybody that was watching backstage, the entire locker room comes running out, officials included.
Like all faces were out by the ring doing the big, like we're not going to bang to the microphones. They're bashing the mat.
There was a bunch of referees out there. There was a bunch of striped shirts, and when everybody come running out, I started welling up harder. I was like, oh my God, because it's finally it. They did it for him. They proved how passionate they are and how much they want this for them for Kofi.
Yeah, like it showed the power of positivity, the power of of the three of them, of this team, of what
the brotherhood that they have.
Yeah, even what Kofi represents right now.
Yeah,
and this was a moment where, for me, all the Gauntlet matches made sense.
Yes,
it all was this underdog story that built up to this very moment where I was emotionally involved. I was emotionally invested. I gave all the fucks about the outcome of this Gauntlet match.
Definitely.
So heading into Mania, I am incredibly excited. I'm incredibly keen. I cannot wait to see this. But then I went, I bet Kofi loses.
Yeah.
Like all this build up, all this hype, all this show of emotion. I'm like, he's losing.
I'm just excited to see him at WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's one of those things.
I'm riding that coattail.
Think about it this way, right?
Well, he's
the big 3 matches coming into Mania. Raw Women's Champion. We theory has it. Well, we believe Becky will win. Face.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins to win.
Yeah.
Face. Kofi v. Bryan. Face. Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way that all 3 of them faces are going to win.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. So either, like, there is no way that Becky will lose.
No way.
Like,
no
there
chance.
is no way that Seth will lose because, like, it's fucking Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will... Every single one of these results, someone will be murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the universe will turn off WrestleMania if any of these lose.
Yes.
But I guarantee one of them will lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only one that makes most sense is only because Daniel Bryan is so like on point right now.
Yeah.
Is Kofi.
Yeah.
It'll be a big old kick in the dick.
Yeah.
But when Brock Lesnar out, I think he wants to go back to MMA anyway.
Yeah.
Give it to Seth. Seth will be a full-time champ. He'll have it around. Makes sense.
Yes.
Becky deserves it. Ronda wants to bounce. It works.
Yeah.
It totally works.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kof. I want you to have it, but I'm scared you'll lose it.
We're hoping.
What do you think of this episode of SmackDown?
I was stoked that it was short and sweet. There wasn't too much put into it. It didn't feel overly saturated like Raw was. The main focus obviously being the Gauntlet match. Again, I was really impressed with this week, obviously being the last weeks in the road to WrestleMania. Again, I reckon another 1.5 thumbs.
I'm going 2 thumbs again, man.
Full
At
2
no
thumbs?
point was I down on this.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant. Like even the little promos in between were excellent.
Yeah.
The outcome of Charlotte versus Asuka, that match was a surprise to begin with.
Yeah, it was a damn good match
because
too.
originally there was supposed to be a fatal 4-way. With like Sonya and Mandy and all these other people that were meant to be. No, but they were meant to be involved, right? This was who was determined to have a shot with Oscar, I believe, for Mania. So then to have that switch to this, I'm like, well, I didn't see that coming. Yeah. And that outcome, I'm like, I didn't see that coming.
Definitely. The surprise was definitely great.
It's one of those things, like the more and more that we watch WWE, the more and more we start seeing how the cogs work. We see how the sausage is made. And for that reason, it can always lose a lot of its oomph. Yes. Right? So to have moments where they swerve you is cool. It is fun. It's enjoyable.
Definitely.
And for the Gauntlet match, it was brilliant front to back.
Definitely.
I was definitely emotionally invested. The outcome was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
It was spot on. This SmackDown is by far
expecting that whole the Usos to forfeit, which is amazing.
They are very quickly showing that they are, in fact, the better show at this point.
Definitely.
2 thumbs. Let us know what you thought of this week's episode of SmackDown Live in those comments below the Discord or the Facebook group. But before we finish the show, we do always jump into the dirt sheet. With the old dirt sheet Dash. So this is where we get our good friend Dash to go scour the internet, get into the ears of some of his sources, and deliver us some backstage gossip, rumors, and potential details of things. He has 3 things for us this week. Number 1, regarding the Raw Women's title match, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestler Observer Radio noted that the current plan is for the match to set up a clear direction for next year's WrestleMania.
Interesting.
But Vince McMahon could easily change his mind between now and then, as he's known to do. The plan is reportedly to not merge the titles long time, although it's rumored that the match could be a winner takes all scenario, so therefore potentially merging both the belts to have a women's championship rather than a Raw
kind of like
and a
the tag
SmackDown.
teams.
Kind of like the tag teams. So regarding a possible title unification, Meltzer said, quote, "We're told that it is very unlikely as they do want each brand to have a separate champion."
Yeah.
This comes in a couple places for me. So the thing about the unification of the belts comes into a couple ideas, right? So we know they've got the SmackDown deal later in the year. It's a $2 billion deal over a couple of years. It's a lot of money coming from Fox here. So, and part of that deal is the SmackDown's rating needs to be at a particular level, right?
Yes.
Makes sense. So, in terms of a unification with Raw's ratings going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, they're not getting as many people watching as they need. So, it would make sense for them to combine the shows and have it on SmackDown, on Fox, best televised opportunities. If they can, it's the best for business to have them two connected. Now, saying that, I think it's a downside because Raw is always considered the A show, but is still staying on the current USA network. So it would, if they were to bring the two together, it would make sense for them to put it with SmackDown. It would also be it'd be advantageous because we would already have the WWE Heavyweight Championship belt be there. Yeah. So like it's that weird line of the actual named WWE champion is technically the second tier men's championship belt behind the Universal Champion. It just makes sense to bring them together. Yeah. Saying that though, bit of a bummer. Yeah. I personally like the separate shows. Yeah. I think it's a good way to showcase a lot of talent.
Definitely.
And then and on top of that, what would that mean for the shake up the week after WrestleMania? That's true. What's your thoughts on a unified belt?
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like the idea of it. I do like having separate brandings. Obviously, having two separate titles is a great way to showcase talent on both shows and showcase more talent. And I think unifying them will really sort of narrow that down. And it would be really disadvantageous for them.
Very interesting. Second, horsewoman to close out Mania? ? A source has revealed to Dash that the current plan may be to have the horsewomen closing out WrestleMania. This year with all 4 in the ring having their own Benoit Guerrero moment.
Yeah.
This may be in the plans to have Becky win the Raw Women's belt, which will have Charlotte having the SmackDown Live Women's title, with Sasha and Bayley having the tag titles. So have the 4 of them, middle of the ring, put up the 4 credits. That
would be awesome.
And
we have seen previously flashes from Sasha and Becky of the 4 horsewomen.
Mm-hmm. So for me, like the groundwork, like I believe Dash here. I believe Dash's source. Mm-hmm. We've seen the build up of the 4 horsewomen. Mm-hmm. It's been a while. On top of that, like I have mentioned a couple of weeks ago, that's something I'd like to see.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like when we discussed a couple of weeks ago, it was how do we get the belt on Charlotte?
Yeah.
And they answered that this week.
Yes.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And that shot alone, that is a brilliant shot to end.
Yeah, definitely.
Unquestionably.
Yeah.
Finally, there is currently speculation that the Revival are still unhappy with WWE despite being the current Raw Tag Team Champions. At a recent WWE live event, the team took a photo with a fan wearing an All Elite Wrestling shirt. Even though their contracts don't expire until 2020, Scott Dawson allegedly told the fan, "I'll see you in May." For those that don't know, in May, AEW are having their first big event with the Double or Nothing.
Interesting.
Holy fuck! All this is doing is adding speculation to the previous theory that they were heading over to AEW, hence why they have the belts. Like that's what it came down to. The reason they got the belts is because they were looking at going elsewhere.
Yes, yeah, they gave them that opportunity to keep them.
Personally, don't care. Send the Revival over there. I reckon they'll have a better time over at AEW.
I definitely think so too.
And
they'll be utilized a lot better.
There, it's straight up. They'll be handled better there.
Yeah.
Like I do feel they're a little wasted at WWE.
For sure.
And I also don't care for them too much. So maybe that'll give me a reason to care.
Yeah.
And finally, this bit of news does not come from our usual source of Dirt Sheet Dash. This comes from a friend of the show who I'll only call Crispy Biscuit. Crispy did come in and he dropped some facts. He tagged me and you and I in a little announcement saying that, hey, we may have rumored dates for WWE to return to Australia. So he tagged, and then he later tagged me in the post that had the announcement. He said, the post said, the WWE tour dates have been leaked for the WWE 2019 Australian tour. An official announcement from WWE and Teg Dainty, that's TEGDANTY, has yet to be released. The dates are as follows: 21st of October 2019, Kudos Arena in Sydney, or QUDOS. 22nd of October 2019, Brisbane Entertainment Centre in Brisbane. And the 23rd of October 2019, the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. No announcement of the superstars at this time. For context, the 21st is a Monday, 22nd Tuesday, 23rd Wednesday. So if they are, that's the days they record Raw and SmackDown. They can't have a big hunk of their superstars down in Australia if they've got to record SmackDown and Raw in the US. All I'm saying. What are you saying? Probably interrupt you.
Well, what I'm saying is, if this is real, my birthday is the 29th of October, so somebody take me for my birthday.
Mine's the 6th of November, so
somebody take us. Somebody take us.
Yeah. So this
can be our date.
This is exciting for me. So because the thing that, as I mentioned before, what got me back in love with wrestling was Super Showdown in October last year when they were at the Rod Laver Arena. Yeah. So not Rod Laver, they were MCG. Yeah. So I'm like, yes, this is cool. This is going to give me that chance to go to wrestling again. It's a good time of the year. And in terms of it having it fall on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday, it does make it possible for it to at least be taped and then shown in the US. So say if they record Raw in Sydney on the Monday and then SmackDown on Brisbane on the Tuesday, they can then tape it, send it over to US, But, I mean, it'll get up in time because for us, it's 11 a.m. on 11 a.m. on Tuesday for Raw, 11 a.m. on Wednesday for SmackDown. So it gives them enough. If they do it the night before, they can get it up, they can get it out. Boom, done. It's going to hit the US. It's going to hit Foxtel here. It's going to be tick, 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 tick. It's going to work. So
I haven't been to a live show since I was 15, so I would be stoked to see it.
So like. Obviously, they can't promise us a pay-per-view this year. So it's the best they can do is give us Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying that, they have gone to the UK. They have done Raw and SmackDown in the UK before.
Yeah.
So the precedent is totally there.
Definitely.
And looking at so there was some of the particular wording in the Super Showdown booklet from that last year did sort of stipulate from Vince McMahon, allegedly, the importance of Australia in terms of WWE.
Yes.
So for that reason, I think that it's not out of the cards.
Yeah.
And with the success of Super Showdown, the money is here in Australia.
Definitely.
I myself will, if I can, I'll go to all three.
Yeah.
If not, I'll at least go to two. Like I'll go to the Raw and SmackDown tapings.
Definitely.
Or at least one of them, and then go to the Melbourne one.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can to get there by ourselves, whether it be dollary dues, or we'll have to grease the right palms or jerk the right dicks. Now, you have a source that we could leverage here potentially.
I do, possibly.
We'll find a way, and would love to see all you there as well. Yeah. So it's a good time of the year. It's right around our birthdays, present like a boss, and then we have
it could definitely be like a party. Get a place in the
We'll
city.
find a way to be there. That is what's happening. We'll find a way.
You need to find a way to be there with us.
If you too want to give us some wrestling thoughts, even your thoughts, or even some news like this, be sure to hit us up in those things below, all that sort of stuff. I forget how we wrap up the show. That brings us to the end of the show. You can hear us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, as we just said, head over to Facebook, facebook.com/group/thepopculturist, Discord, or you can contact us via email, mail@thepopculturist.com, or even the website, popculture.com/questions, or there's a little Young in the Wrestlers box. You tick that, you press the button. If you are listening to us on podcast service, be sure to give us 5-star reviews if that's what you feel comfortable with, or give us a star that you feel appropriate, as well as leaving a written review in there as well. I do check it every couple of days to see if anyone's jumping on, because as we said, last couple of weeks, we did make the new and noteworthy. We'd love to do that again. We'd love to open some more doors, and we want to be able to sort of, part of that comes from you guys.
Yeah.
And, we appreciate you entirely, and this is just more and more you can do. And on top of that, if you want to show the support for us in another way, you can head to thepopculture.com/shop. You can buy assorted pop culturist merchandise like this, phones, maybe your own little wrestling notes book. It's pretty sweet. Have me ask on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepopculturist. And this coming Wednesday, might make it earlier because of
how long it's going to take.
Card.
Yeah.
But I'll lock down the time probably within the next couple of days for our Wrestlemania 35 predictions pay-per-view. It's an estimated 17 matches to get through. So good friend of the show, Craig from the Mullet Show, will be joining us to have a good old time and share some predictions. But until the next one, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose.
We'll see you then.
Bye.